What's going on, everyone? John Matrix here. Hope you're having yourselves a lovely day wherever you're at and whenever you're watching this. We're going to be jumping into another SCP video here by Mr. Illustrated. I saw this one pop up on my feed, so I figured we'd take a look at it. This is titled "The Secret the SCP Foundation Doesn't Want You to Know." So the title had me intrigued. I figured we'd check this out and see what this secret is that the SCP doesn't want us to know, because I'm sure there's quite a lot. I'm sure there's plenty. Yeah, links will be down below as always to the original video without my commentary and reaction, and to Mr. Illustrated's channel. So if you do me a favor, if you enjoy this video as we go through it, please be sure to go over there and click that like button on the video on his channel. And if you haven't already, hit that sub button on his channel and show the man some love. He makes a lot of wonderful videos for the SCP universe, puts a lot of effort into it, and he definitely deserves some support. So do me a favor, if you haven't subbed to him, consider doing so. Excuse me. If you'd like to join us when we do these reactions live, there is a join button underneath the video, as well as the link in the description to the YouTube membership benefits and tiers that I offer. You know, if you've been around the channel for a while and decide you want to take your support to the next level, take a look at that and see if any of that would have any interest for you. For now, let's jump into this video. Again, this is The Secret the SCP Foundation Doesn't Want You to Know by Mr. Illustrated.
The O5 Council have willingly and purposefully created almost every single SCP in existence. It is their great secret, one that they have built an entire empire around. Everything from the hierarchy to the structure of the SCP Foundation has facilitated the obfuscation of the truth, and their secret has killed thousands of innocents and doomed millions more. Today,
so I wonder if this is like talking about a specific, because like there's different canons obviously, and how in those canons, the SCP works in different ways, you know, like in the Cactus verse, for example, you know, like how to describe it. The way the found, like, I don't know. I don't really I don't know how to like describe it without going into a very broad tangent. You know, but essentially the SCP Foundation exists and has always existed, and therefore anomalies exist and will always exist, and it's like a fundamental like part of reality kind of a situation, in I believe the Cactus verse, but in also some other universes, you know, etc, etc. So I wonder, I don't know, let's just watch the video and find out, I guess.
I will explain how and why they did it. But first we need to talk about cybersecurity, specifically malware, and who better than today's sponsor, NordVPN. Here's a short story about how NordVPN. Well, we're just gonna skip the sponsor segment here. So if you guys enjoy NordVPN, check them out. You wouldn't think at first glance that the SCP-001 proposal, the sheaf of papers, is the most dangerous object in the entire SCP universe. But every world-ending reality...
Okay, so is this the 001 proposal where like the SCP Foundation knows that, you know, they're a story being written, and like they have this book, and anything they write in the book or whatever becomes reality? Is that what this one is?
Destroying, creation-eating, god-tier entity in the entire database was made by the sheaf of papers. The sheer power of this SCP is matched only by how unremarkable it is to look at. It's just
SCP-001 is a simple sheet of paper stapled together in the top left corner. The top sheet is a covering sheet reading simply confidential report and special items classified. Number of subsequent papers stapled to the covering sheet is intermediate and range from 3 to 30. The report is unassigned and its origin is unknown.
Just a wad of stapled papers anywhere from 3 to 30 sheets. Nothing that wouldn't look out of place in any normal office. When the object is opened, it will reveal a previously unknown SCP, the next one in numerical order. Now, the big question that still hangs in the air, is SCP-001 actually creating these anomalies, or is it merely an early warning system? We don't know, but the fact of the matter is that as long as the paperwork is not opened, then no anomalies appear. A quick
Okay, so yeah, I've never heard about this before. So as long as you don't read it, no new anomalies appear. But every time you open this, there is a new anomaly in the sheet, and the anomaly explanation is between 3 to 30 pages long. That's kind of interesting, right? So almost, I guess, kind of a play on like the observer effect, right? Like, you know, it doesn't exist until you look at it, kind of a situation. you know? Um, and it makes me wonder, like, is it a situation where, like, they're viewing these sheets are kind of like, how do I want to say it? It's almost like, I guess, a representation of the SCP wiki itself, right? So like they're viewing the sheet and it's like just randomly pulling an SCP off the wiki or something like that, you know, and talking about it, and then bam, it exists in this reality / canon.
Tangent, if I may, I do have some personal reservations concerning the containment procedures of this 001. It is an old SCP though, so I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, but anyway, as it stands, the sheaf of papers is kept in a locked briefcase. The briefcase and the room it is in are monitored by CCTV and guarded by D-Class. Yes, D-Class. Why D-Class? Surely something that is this important should be guarded by people that are absolutely loyal to the Foundation and their cause.
I mean, it could be a situation where they want to, like, you know, hide it in plain sight, you know, so if they just have it guarded by D-Class, then clearly it can't be that much of a high level thing, you know what I'm saying? Can't be that much of any kind of real value.
If I was an O5 council member, I would be thinking, okay, I have this paperwork that could literally create an entity that could Thanos snap our timeline out of existence. I want to be able to sleep at night, so I'm going to get MTF Alpha 1, the red right hand, and MTF NU7 hammer down to guard this thing with everything from my most loyal agents to nuclear weaponry, so that no one can come along and just start spawning in the next Scarlet King. I certainly wouldn't trust the fate of creation to some nut job off death row. So how did the O5 Council create almost every single SCP?
So, I mean, another question, you know, begs to be asked. Something so dangerous, and again, you know, I understand the SCP, they prefer to contain other than destroy. Couldn't they just, like, you know, if it is just sheets of paper, are they indestructible sheets of paper? But they just, like, toss it in the fire? But I guess another question would be then, like, right, like, is the fundamental, like, core of our universe and reality held within these sheets of papers? And if you burn these sheets of papers, our universe, reality, whatever, will be destroyed, you know? Is that a potential consequence of that? And is that something they would want to take a risk of doing? I could see that being, you know, an explanation or subject being brought up at an O5 council meeting about this, you know?
In order to open the briefcase to act. So how did the O5 Council create almost every single SCP? In order to open the briefcase to access SCP-001, it requires unanimous special clearance from the entire Council. So that means, if we are to believe that this is the SCP-001, the proper one, the real deal, the O5 Council have agreed, sanctioned, and given their blessing for the sheaf of papers to be opened nearly 8,000 times. The anomalies can't exist without 001 being opened, and 001 can't be opened without a unanimous vote in favor from the O5 Council.
I mean, it could be another one of those situations, right? Where, you know, I don't necessarily want to say like a chicken or the egg kind of a thing, right? You know, but like the Foundation has no purpose and can't exist without anomalies, so they create anomalies so they have a purpose and can exist.
The O5 Council in this case surpass even the deadliest creatures they claim to protect us from, because the aforementioned creatures wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the 001 being opened, which the Council would have had to have agreed to do in the first place. So
you would also think that if they're willing to do that, that they themselves would have a backup plan, power, and or ability to, you know, contain or control them to the point where, you know, at least they won't destroy the entire universe, you know, do a K-class scenario or something like that, you know.
So I'm O51, I've just opened the paperwork and I'm reading about the living room, SCP-002. It's a giant meatball with a door on the side that fell to Earth from orbit. If you go inside, it looks like your average apartment. The kicker here though, is that all the furnishings are made of the people that went inside it. Right, okay, a bit weird, I'ma put that to the side. Actually, I think I might double check that. Oh wait, it's something about a motherboard now. If the temperature gets too low, then it begins growing and swallowing up the matter around it, while another part blasts it with radiation. Okay, let's open it again. Well, slap me stupid and call me Sally, there's another new thing again. A door and some keys this time. Put the wrong key in the door and you'll be torn apart. And so
Yikes.
it continues. Speaking of continuing, before I delve deeper into the O5 Council's secret and the other horrors the Council have sanctioned, please would you slap that like button down there if you're enjoying the
Do the
video. It
thing.
takes just 1 second, it really helps the channel,
Do the
and it would
thing if
mean
you
the
haven't
world to
already.
me. Thank you. Back to it. Did it never occur to the O5 Council to stop? What about after 076, Abel, the Foundation's own version of Kratos, with inhuman strength and a hatred for humans that slaughters everyone he comes across? If that wasn't bad enough, he can swap bullets out of the air, produce an infinite number of weapons, and go for more than an hour without oxygen. Oh, and sometime after you've killed him, he regenerates, and the rampage starts all over again. What about after 096, an immortal regenerative humanoid creature that will hunt down and kill anyone that sees its face? This thing took down an AWACS plane, wiped out an entire mobile task force, and it killed a baby while it was still sat in its car seat. What about 610, an incurable fatal skin disease that mutates you into a meat monster that will convert the local environment into something more hospitable to the infected and attempt to spread the infection to others? That's not enough? Okay, what about the big boy himself, SCP-682, a seemingly unkillable reptile that hates all life? It will attempt to attack and kill the living on sight. It can grow and adapt to anything you throw at it, and it remains one of the greatest ongoing challenges the Foundation is still trying to deal with. What about after 1048, a teddy bear that makes copies of itself? One was made from
This teddy bear story was crazy. That one is one that definitely sticks out in my mind, especially the whole part about the teddy bear creating a teddy bear out of a fetus. Yikes.
the severed ears of Foundation personnel. Another, and this is fucking disgusting by the way, another was made with an 8-month-old fetus that 1048 removed from a pregnant researcher. A woman saw the child's arm sticking out of the bear, screamed, and the bear tried to climb into that woman's uterus. What about SCP-3000? A god at the bottom of the ocean, the brother of the serpent of the Wanderer's Library. Most would see that as a turning point, the limit, the red line we shouldn't cross. Not the O5 Council. They found a way instead to use that one to make a juiced up amnestics program to wipe.
And I mean, that could be the other side of the story too, right? As a lot of these SCPs have some kind of benefit, like again, on Shasha, it secretes, you know, some kind of fluid, I guess, that is like the most powerful amnestic the SCP has the Foundation has access to. So, and I mean, there are some SCPs that have, you know, the ability to produce and create great things that could benefit humanity depending on how they're used. So it's a double-edged sword, like a lot of things.
People's minds. Right, SCP-4666, a dude that tortures families at Christmas and sometimes steals a child to torture in his own realm of horrors and have them make toys or turn them into a toy. Listen to this, right? So one of the kids was made into a toy. She was made to look like a doll. The dress was sewn to her skin. Her mouth was sewn shut with human tendons. Her scalp was removed and a different child's was sewn in place, and her eyes were gouged out and replaced with painted stones. She lived for another 18 hours in this state. Can you imagine the hell she was put through? So why did the council do it? The brilliance of the secret is in its plausible deniability. If anyone even began to suspect that the O5 Council had a hand in using 001 to create anomalies, the council can fall back on the fact that the real 001 is unknown. There is no way for anyone to know what the real one is, so any claims by staff would be unsubstantiated.
Well, I mean, they could always just use amnestics to erase their memory too.
We now have 8,000 anomalies and the number keeps climbing. The council have kept this secret from everyone, and I suspect it's for personal gain. The O5 Council already control many important things in the world. They have leverage on most world governments for further funding. They control most of the world's media to hide, fabricate and cover up where necessary, and they even have operatives in places they cannot directly control or influence. But what if they wanted more control? Imagine if the O5 Council could scare the world governments and the people into surrendering their power and freedoms and instead rely on the SCP Foundation for safety and stability. Make the world see the SCP Foundation as the only...
I mean, it's very possible, right? It's very possible the SCP Foundation could use the, you know, anomalies as a way of saying, you know, we're the good guys here, you know, as essentially a bid for world domination and power, and under the guise of these anomalies have come out of nowhere, they're terrorizing us, you know, we're the heroes, listen to us, follow us, do as we say, and we'll protect you.
Ones who can save them. The O5 Council would no longer be the council of the Foundation, but of humanity itself. Of course, this all only applies if you believe the sheaf of papers is the true 001, so comment below. Do you? Click this video here for another great story. Thank you for watching, and to the patrons and the members as always, and shout out to Afro Interactive, Ryan Brenner, Techno Ninja, GFA.
Alright, there we go. There we go. Interesting. Well, that's a 001 proposal I've not heard about before. I'm curious how old this video is. That was a year ago, so it's actually fairly recent. I've not heard of this 001 proposal. The idea of, you know, it's just a collection of papers that, you know, change every time you view it, and every time you view it, a new SCP is then created into reality. Again, I wonder if it's like I said at the beginning, it sounds almost kind of like a play on the idea of the observer effect, you know, where it doesn't exist until you view it. And it also seems kind of like it's almost like a fourth wall thing where the papers kind of represent the SCP wiki, and it's almost kind of like grabbing an SCP story off the wiki at random, and then that SCP is generated and created in this universe. So it's a pretty interesting idea, honestly. I like the overall idea of that. You know, it doesn't exist until you view it, and the fourth wall kind of idea of that. So, but I mean, like you said in the video, it does pose a lot of questions. What's the end goal the SCP Foundation was going for with this? And again, part of it is simply the fact that there's no need for the Foundation if there is no anomalies. So obviously there is some kind of bid for power. What it is and to what extent, I guess, it would probably be left up to you know, your imagination. Do they want to have world domination, world control, or, you know, whatever? Or maybe they just, you know, want to see the world burn, kind of a situation. You know, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what the end game would be in that kind of situation, other than, you know, having power control over things. But maybe they themselves are actually anomalies, and they want to create other anomalies so that they have other things like them that exist. You know, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, that was The Secret the SCP Foundation Doesn't Want You to Know by Mr. Illustrated. Links will be down below, as always, to the original video without my commentary and reaction, and to Mr. Illustrated's channel. So please do me a favor, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give that a like, and be sure to hit that sub button on his channel if you haven't subbed him already. Makes a lot of great content in the SCP universe, puts a lot of effort into his videos, and he definitely deserves the love. So give the man some support. If you'd like to join us when I do these reactions live, there is a join button underneath the video. If you've been around the channel for a while and decide you want to take your support to the next level, you know, check that out. See if any of the YouTube membership benefits and tiers that I offer have any kind of interest for you. Regardless, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate you taking that time, you know, out of your busy day to check out the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider leaving a like and subs. It helps me and the channel grow. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have yourselves a wonderful day, everybody.